Hello everybody, Justin here from ProToolsEducation, and today in this video we're going to go over the Waves CLA Classic Compressors bundle. And in this bundle you get 4 models of very famous compressors: the 1176, Blackie and Bluey, an LA3A, and an LA2A. Now these are all modeling their hardware brothers, I guess I should say, and I'm going to put them on some tracks and test them out so you can see kind of the sound that they have. The reason these compressors are so famous is they kind of have a tone to them that really no other compressor kind of has. They kind of add this tone, a little bit of a character, a little bit of an attitude that is really nice. And therefore, that's why they're so famous compared to some standard compressor like a stock compressor in your DAW. So that's why they are so popular. So first off, let's take a look at some drums. So I'm going to go and play this here for you. Now, that doesn't sound bad, but that is with, I'm using a lot of 1176s up here at the top. That's with all of them on. So let me go ahead and bypass them for a second. Hold on a sec. Ah, jeez. There we go. Okay, that's with it off. Well, let's turn it back on. Now, might I note that that is at the same level. I have a trim plugin over here that's changing the level, so it is the same. So, obviously, those are making a very, very big difference to the sound. So, I'm going to go ahead and start here. Let's start with the kick. Let's go ahead and open up this one here. I am using a Blackie on it, so let's start here. I do want to say in this session, this kick drum is horrible, and most of the kick drum is coming from these rooms here, which sound amazing. But we're going to start looking at the kick, which I know sounds horrible, and I'm using most of the kick in the room, so don't go crazy in the comments. Okay, this is without it. Turn it up a little bit there for you. That's with it. Okay, it's kind of squeezing a little bit more juice out of it, kind of getting a little bit more energy out of it, a little bit more body. Let's push the ratio up a little bit. It really squishes it now. Put it back on 4. Kind of not as much body anymore. There we go. So that's a little bit on the kick. Let's move on down to the snare a little bit. On this, I have a blue stripe. So let's go ahead and first listen to it with it off. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it on. Gain isn't the same there. Okay, so big difference. The 1176, in my opinion, does. The 1176 Blue Stripe, in my opinion, does an awesome job on snares. So I'm actually going to go ahead and bring this down to the I'm going to bring it down to the factory default here for a second. So this is it completely with just the factory default. And we can go ahead and edit the settings and kind of customize the sound of it. So whatever I like to do on snare drums is push the attack and release all the way up. Just pulls so much energy out of it, and makes it so much more alive, kind of like you're in there with the room because it's pulling the room up. So that's amazing on snare drums. And with the bass. And alright, I did some stuff on the toms, but the toms sound worse than the bass. So we're going to move on over to the overheads. To black stripes. So that's with it off. Let's go ahead and turn them on. Turn them back off. Now, whenever you turn them on, just the energy's there, kind of the transients get turned down, the room gets turned up. That's kind of what a compressor does on drums, and it's really awesome. Now, the thing to note about this drum recording is the rooms. The rooms sound fantastic. I don't know what they did to all these other tracks to make them sound so good. I didn't track it, but the rooms sound fantastic. This is currently with no compression on it, so let's go ahead and turn it on. It kind of goes from good to like full out. You feel like you're at a concert or something because it's just that good whenever you put the compressor on these rooms. Turn it on. Now we can actually, I'm going to go to the Bluey for a second and see. Now doesn't that sound awesome? Especially when you push the attack and the release all the way up. Really fast attack, really fast release, and it just sounds amazing. That's what's fantastic about the 1176 is it's super fast attack. Without it, with it now, fantastic on drums. Fantastic on drums. So we're gonna move on from the drums for the minute. Here one last time. Those sound good. But now we're going to move on to the vocals for a second. Now I have two different vocals here that we're going to listen to. Let me go ahead to the beginning of the session where the vocals are. So I have two different vocals here for us. First off, we're going to have a listen to Shane here with an LA3A. I think an LA3A works really good on his vocal. With the LA3A, they kind of have to gain up a lot, so I turn it down so the level matches. So let's go ahead and listen to it without it. Help if I'd unmute it.
I don't know the rules to this game, but I hear the wind calling out my name.
Okay, so not a horrible vocal recording. Could be better, but it's not horrible. So let's go ahead and put this plugin on for a second.
I don't know the rules to this game, but I hear the wind calling out my name.
So it kind of squeezes a little bit more life out of it. Kind of has a mid-ground juice or something that kind of squeezes out. And it just reminds me, it honestly reminds me of the vocals on Green Day's Holiday and the American Idiot album. It kind of just flatlines it and adds this great mid-range energy to it. So this is without it.
I don't know the rules to this game, but I hear the wind calling out my name.
Without it.
I don't know the rules to this game, but I hear.
And with it.
I don't know the rules to this game, but I hear the wind calling out my name.
Especially on calling. Let's find it on calling. Oh, geez.
The rules to this game, but I hear the wind calling out my name.
So yeah, I really favor the 1176 on that vocal take. So for this one, last one, we have another vocal.
You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all.
I know it's kind of bad. It is dry. There's no processing. This one had some processing on it. This one doesn't. So first, for this one, we're going to take a look at the LA2A first. LA2A is usually favored on vocals because it's very smooth. Doesn't color the sound that much. You almost pretty much don't even know it's working. Just kind of quietly in the background pushes stuff down and gives a great kind of glassy effect almost. So this is without it.
You know.
Thank you, Pro Tools.
You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all. My Saver twin and I, let's take over the world.
Alright, so let's go ahead and have a listen to it with it on.
You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all. My Saver twin and I, let's take over the world. You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all. My Saver twin and I, let's take over the world. You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all.
So very smooth, very nice. Definitely has a nice feel to it. So just for a little bit of a different idea on a different compressor, let's put the 3A on this and see how that sounds.
You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all. My Saver twin and I, let's. You know it's just.
Compare that to the 2A.
You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all. My Saver twin and
I think the LA2A is just a little bit smoother. It's not as jumpy as this one is almost. So, and even for a different flavor on top of that, let's try the 1176. Start with the Blackie.
You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all. My Saver twin and I, let's take over.
Let's try the Bluey.
You know it's just rock and roll. I know you're by my side through it all. My Saver twin and I, let's take over the world.
Okay, so they're all very subtle. They really all have very subtle sonic characteristics, but they're all very nice. They all compress very smoothly, and I find that each compressor or each sound has its own compressor that sounds best on it. So no matter what sound you have, one of these 4 compressors is going to sound good on it. I just find there's something magical about them. No matter what period, what you have, one of these is going to sound good on it. So you really can't go wrong because everything will work on it. So I hope you got a good idea on some of what them sound like, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.